What's going on, you guys? It's your man James, aka JP, back again with another toy room review, and today we're taking a look at the brand new Fisher-Price Little People Collector Avatar: The Last Airbender, The Boy in the Iceberg set. Now, this isn't the official name of it, but I am branding it as The Boy in the Iceberg because that is what this is based off of. The very first scene from the very first episode of Avatar: The Last Airbender that is titled The Boy in the Iceberg. Now, I'm very, very excited to have this set because I really enjoyed the previous Avatar: The Last Airbender Little People Collector set, so anything Avatar related, I'm always going to be in for. Now let's go ahead and start by taking a look at the packaging, and right off the bat you will notice the packaging is a little different than we're used to from Little People Collector. Normally we're used to the orientation of the packaging being this way, but with this one they actually made it this vertical way, which actually looks really good and works out really well with the packaging. So right down here you can actually see the boat that Sokka and Katara are riding in, and I love the way that they made them in the packaging where it looks like they're actually sitting in the boat, so that is really, really cool. Down here you have Avatar: Last Airbender with the Nickelodeon logo, and you can kind of see the ice glaciers and the actual like iceberg surrounding the entire packaging, which is really cool. As we move up here you can obviously see Aang, and Aang does look in the packaging like he is encapsulated in the iceberg, and that is just absolutely amazing. Such great detail on the packaging. Now this is just, you know, plastic inside, but the detail and the level of care that they put into this to give it all the frosting details right here where it actually looks like Aang is frozen. I mean, who is doing it better in packaging than Little People right now? I mean, it's crazy to think like these toys made for kids, granted this is the collector line as you can see right here, but these toys that are made for kids just have so much detail and love and care in the packaging, and that's why I love everything that Fisher-Price is doing with the Little People Collector line. So aside from those details here, like I mentioned, you do have the Little People Collector that is done in a gold foil right here, which is pretty nice. Other than that, coming to the side, you can actually see some product shots of the actual figures right here. And then on the back, you do have basically like a reenactment or like a reimagining of the Avatar cartoon, that scene from the cartoon just done in the Fisher-Price Little People art style, which is really cool. And then you also do get a little bit of a read up, and as you can see, it says The Boy in the Iceberg right there. So you can go ahead and pause that to read it if you want. I did find this on the Mattel Creations website along with the Avatar Uno that I reviewed in the last video. So if you guys want to purchase this, that's where you can find it. You can see the link right down there. And then coming to this side, you don't really have much except for the different elements as well as the Fisher-Price logo, and that is it. So really, really great packaging. And another thing that I love with Mattel, what they do with these, it's so easy to take this out of the packaging but also put it back in the packaging if you did want to display it, because I mean, just like this by itself, it makes a really, really cool display piece. But we're not here to look at the packaging strictly, so we're gonna go ahead and get these guys out of the packaging and take a closer detail look at them. All right, so I promise I'm not trying to make this entire video about the packaging, but as I was getting ready to unbox this to actually review the actual figures, I just noticed even more Easter eggs in the packaging, which is just crazy. So this portion of the packaging here is actually just a slip cover, so once you go ahead and slide that up, you will actually find more Easter eggs. So before you couldn't see this fish right here, and this fish was blocked off by that slip cover, and this fish is actually the fish that Katara is waterbending in the beginning of the episode. So that's one Easter egg right there. Another, not really an Easter egg, but just another level of detail. This is like a way sturdier, harder piece of plastic than I anticipated. I thought it was just like a cheap piece of plastic, but this is like a whole thing right here. So just the level of detail that they put in that, and also so you guys just can see the, you know, the physical like level of detail that's in here with all the frosting effects and whatnot. That's pretty cool. But then once you turn the packaging to the back side, you'll actually notice a whole new scene right here. So this is when Aang comes out of the iceberg, emits the light, and then you can see Zuko and Uncle Iroh right here, done again in that Fisher-Price art style, and it says I won't get to finish my game, and finally, Uncle, do you realize what this means? And then just all the little details that are in here, man. So you get basically double the packaging because you get the original slipcover right here, but then you also just get this version right here on the back as well. So just really, really great level of detail, and I was genuinely in shock as I was unboxing this to actually get to the figures. So this is one of these that I think I'm probably going to keep displayed in the packaging, and definitely keep the packaging somewhere in good condition because, like I said, the level of detail and everything is just amazing. Okay. Enough about the packaging. Let's get on to the actual figures. All right, so here are the figures, but I lied. I got one more thing with the packaging to talk about, which is really, really cool, and I was hoping that they did it, and they actually did. So once you actually open this up, where Aang is placed in the packaging, right behind Aang, you can actually see Appa in the iceberg on the background on the little cardboard cutout. That is just, man, The amount of detail in the packaging, I keep saying it, and I know it sounds repetitive, but honestly, like, the more I unpack this, the more I get impressed with this. Anyways, let's move on from the packaging. All right, and here are the figures out of the packaging. So we're going to start with Aang and work on Katara and Sokka a little later, because Aang has the least amount of new going on with him. So if you guys remember my previous set, I'll put a picture up here. This is what Aang looked like in the previous set, and this is what he looks like in this set. So honestly, there's not much different going on with him. It's the same exact body mold of the figure, and everything is the same except for obviously the paint job and the facial expression. The facial expression on this one is a little bit more relaxed, where the last one was a little bit more happy and playful, but this one is just kind of more relaxed and almost kind of like in a trance. And then obviously you have the blue paint job, which is the Avatar state sort of paint job here. So you have the very, very light blue for the kind of glowing effects on the arrow, the eyes, as well as the arrows on the hands. It would have been nice to see this glow in the dark. That's kind of like a missed opportunity on this one. I don't know why it's not a glow in the dark figure, but you have that, and then you have a little bit of a darker shade of blue here on the skin tone, as well as certain parts of the clothing, and then you have the darker shades of blue on other parts of the clothing, as well as the eyebrows and the mouth. But other than that, same exact figure all the way down to his staff right here, which always looked like a crucifix and did not look like it was the right proportions to be a staff, so that was always funny. But other than that, I mean, it's still a really great figure. You do have a lot of nice creasing all throughout, so even though it is sort of a reissue of the figure, it's still, you know, enough of a variation where it doesn't feel like the same exact figure, so that's pretty cool. But moving on to Sokka and Katara, we have a little bit more going on with them. So Sokka is in a completely different outfit, so he has his full kind of snow gear on here. His facial expression is different than the last one, which is a nice touch, and he has a different weapon as well. In the last one he had his boomerang, and now he has his hunting staff. I guess that's the official name of it. And just really, really nice details in this outfit. You can see the different texture here for kind of like the fur on his jacket right here, which is really nice. And the paint does look a little weird here on the blue going onto the white. It kind of bleeds a little bit, but other than that, I mean, it still looks really great, and his hair looks good as well. So really, really cool. And again, here's a close-up of his staff right there. So I do like that he's not wearing his same outfit here. This is enough of a variation. I do like it. It doesn't feel like a reissue. So this is very nice. And who's also completely different is going to be Katara, as we switch her in here. And here is Katara also in her snow outfit, but hers is a little bit more detailed because you do have the hood up covering her face. So you do get a lot more of that kind of fur texture detail right there. And for some reason, she's holding Sokka's boomerang or club. Not the boomerang, but this is a club. She's holding Sokka's club, and I'm not entirely sure why. I don't think she did in that episode, so that is a little strange on why she's... I don't know if we've ever seen her hold Sokka's club, now that I'm thinking about it, but I could be wrong. And then here is what she looked like, obviously, with the previous set right there. So very, very different with this one, obviously having her full snow gear on, and obviously, like we mentioned before, holding the clubs right there. But other than that, just great detailing all around. Again, fur details all the way through, even on the back right here, which is very, very nice to see. So yeah, overall, just a really, really good looking figure. I'm very, very happy with this set, and I could not be any happier to have this in my collection. Alright, you guys, so there's my review of the brand new Fisher-Price Little People Collector Avatar The Last Airbender, The Boy in the Iceberg set. Now you guys already know I love this set. Anything with Avatar I'm going to automatically love, but put my bias aside, this set just has so much detail going on with it. Obviously, with the kind of basic figures, you kind of have to do a little bit something to stand out. So the amount of detail and love and literal like details that they've put in the packaging, from having the slipcover with, you know, one sort of background here showing one side of the story from Aang, Katara, and Sokka's perspective, and then having the other background here showing Uncle Iroh and Zuko, and then having the physical iceberg in the packaging with all the different frosting effects. I mean, it just adds another level of detail and variation to what's otherwise just very simplistic and, you know, childlike figures, because this Little People line is essentially based on toys for children, but what Fisher-Price and Mattel has been able to do to kind of gear these towards collectors, I mean, they're knocking it out of the park, and I can't wait to see, hopefully, down the line, what they do with more Avatar stuff. And I have worked with Mattel and Little People before in the past, but this is not a sponsored video. I bought this with my own money on the Mattel Creations website, so I don't have any sort of bias or anything like that. So yeah, I cannot be any happier with this. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Share this video with your friends. Be sure to follow me on Instagram and TikTok. Those links are in the description down below. And I'm going to go ahead and get on out of here. So as always, guys, stay tuned for more, and I'll see you guys next time.